Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome to today's very special Zoom call, Success Loves Speed with Eric Worre. My name is Kas Mustafi, Director of Operations at Go, and guys, I'm really excited for today's Zoom call. As I can see, our Zoom webinar is already at capacity. We are 10,000 people right now in Zoom watching this webinar live. But don't worry guys, we have also social media channels where we are streaming this call in multiple languages. So get ready, get something to write, make notes, because what Eric will share with us right now will help you guys build your business faster. So Eric, are you here, brother? Can you hear me?
I'm here. It's nice to hear from everybody. It's nice to see everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's early morning here in Las Vegas. I don't know where you are in the world, but maybe put into the chat, where are you connecting from in the world? Let me see in the chat. Where are you connecting from? Maybe, have they enabled chat? Maybe they haven't. It's disabled. Oh, so I can't see the chat. All right. Well, I know you're connecting from around the world, so it's good to see everybody. I see you in the participants list. And I want to give you some training today. I'm going to jump right into it. And today won't be super long, but it will be powerful, I hope, for you to understand one of the key principles in entrepreneurship, one of the key principles in business. And that key principle is this: success loves speed. This idea of velocity, of momentum, of acceleration. It's so much better to go fast than it is to go slow. There's the chat. I don't know if that works for everybody, but or if that's just a notification for everybody. It looks like it is, the different languages. So success loves speed. I want you to think about that as a concept. And I might use this board if I can. I had shoulder surgery a bit ago, so my writing arm is not what it should be. But can the host, can you enable the chat for the host or no? If they can, it would be great. I would love to see it. If you do, fantastic. If you don't, that's fine. But this idea, because let me tell you what most people do. What most people in business do is they make a plan and they wait for it to be perfect. That's their first strategy. They try to come up with a perfect plan, and then they secretly work on their perfect plan. And then after that perfect plan works out, then they tell the world. Let me tell you what successful people do, and I'll try to write here with my wounded arm. Oh, I got to get all the way up there. Okay. Is they say yes. They say yes first. They say yes before they have it figured out. They say yes, they're going to do it before they have a strategy. They say yes before they have a plan. They just say yes. This is what successful entrepreneurs do. Number two, they tell the world. They tell everybody. They say yes, even if it's messy. There's the chat. So show me where you're connecting from. Dubai, Egypt, El Salvador, Paris, France, London, all over the world. Fantastic. I love to see that. Belgium, Chile, Netherlands, Colombia, Nigeria again, Santo Domingo, Morocco, Argentina, Bogota, Ivory Coast, Uruguay. Okay, so great, fantastic. You can catch up on the chat. So they say yes first, not second or third. They say yes first. They tell the world, and then they figure it out. They say yes when it's messy. They say yes when it's not perfect. They say yes when it's frustrating. They say yes when the plan isn't exact. They say yes when there's problems, right? And they tell the whole world, here's what I'm going to do, and here's how I'm going to do it. And then they figure it out. That is the formula for entrepreneurial people. So, like I say, non-entrepreneurs go opposite of that. Entrepreneurs use this strategy. These 3 steps are what will help you unlock your future. That will help you move forward faster. It will help you become a more powerful entrepreneur. And that's what I want you all to become, a more powerful entrepreneur. Wherever you are in the world, say yes, tell the world, and figure it out. Now, let's talk about this idea of speed, this idea of velocity, this idea of momentum. And if the chat's still eligible, and I hope it is, or still open, if you go slow, in doing anything, what are the challenges of going slow? Put into the chat. What are the challenges of going slow? Tell me. What are the challenges? If you decide that you're going to go slow, you're going to do something slow. No progress. You lose momentum. I know we have lots of languages, so I'm just going to be reading the English ones. Lack of income. Being demoralized. Pain. Doubt. You arrive late. No results. You lag behind. You're frustrated. No progress. Distrust. Lack of motivation. But wait, didn't they say, isn't there a story that slow and steady wins the race? Isn't there a story about the turtle and the rabbit, where the turtle just goes slow and steady, and the rabbit loses because the rabbit goes fast but gets distracted? Isn't there a story of that? I think that story is wrong when it comes to entrepreneurship. So again, give me some other examples of what happens when you go slow versus go fast. Let's make a list. Regrets. You lose time. No history written. You burn out. You get discouraged. Disappointment. Lose focus. No discipline. You lose interest. You miss points. You can't go global. Rejection. Waste of time. So you're getting a pretty good idea of what happens when you go slow. Let me take a drink. Excuse me, just 1 second. So it's pretty easy to see the problems of going slow. Now what happens if you go fast? If you go fast, put it into the chat. What happens if you go fast? Even if it's not perfect. Even if you said yes, you've told the world, you're figuring it out. What are the advantages of going fast? Put that in the chat. What are the advantages of going fast? better results, momentum. You arrive first. You get results. You have energy. You get there on time. There's fruit, right? Momentum, everything. You win. You get results, right? Positive energy. You win the race. Success, you stay in front. Excitement, you get to your goals. Confidence, gain momentum. You arrive earlier. You show an example to other people. I will tell you one big one is it's more efficient. If you're going to go fast, you're going to go slow. Fast is better. It just is. Fast is better than slow. Okay? So, more money. Great burnout for going fast? I don't agree. It's never been my experience. Burnout happens from slow and no results. Success happens from speed. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you're building a team and you want to sponsor 20 people. Yeah. And you have a choice to either bring them in 30 months or 30 days. The same 20 people. 30 months or 30 days. Now again, they're the same people. If you bring them in over 30 months, here's what I will tell you. Well, I'll use the 30 days first. Bring in 20 people in 30 days. Let me give you normal numbers, okay? Normal numbers. Those normal numbers are this. You start with 20. About 8 of them will disappear right away. We don't know where they go. They just go somewhere else. Put a number 1 in the chat if that's ever happened to you. You bring in 20 people pretty quick, builders, and they disappear. Put a 1 in the chat if that's ever happened to you. And we don't know where they go. They just don't call you back. They just disappear. So lots and lots of 1s, right? So that leaves you with 12. You have 12 people. That's pretty good. And it seems like you have 12 builders that are going to build for forever. But you don't have 12 builders that are going to build for forever. After about 90 days, you're going to lose another 4. Another 4 will fade. Maybe they'll still be a customer, but they're not a builder anymore. And it looks like you have 8 solid people out of those 20 that you started with that you can build an empire with. Tell me if that's true. Put a number 2 in the chat if you see another 4 fade after like 90 days. Has that ever happened? I've been doing this a long time. I can tell you these numbers are very, 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 very close to exact around the world. After about a year, another 4 will fade again. And you'll have 4 solid leaders that you can work with. Okay, after about a year, you have about 4 out of those 20 that you can work with in order to be able to build a team. Put a number 3 in the chat if that's ever happened to you. You brought in 20 in a short period of time. 8 disappeared pretty quick. 4 faded after like 90 days. And at the end of the year, you have 4. And typically, one of those 4 is producing more results than all the rest. Okay? Than the other 3. One of those 4. You just don't know which one it's going to be. So start with 20, end with 4. Now, if you take these same 20 people and instead of 30 days, you bring them in 30 months. Okay, so you start with 20. How many disappear pretty quick? Because again, let's say you're bringing in 1 every 6 weeks. How many of those 20 are going to disappear pretty quick? What would be your guess? Do you think it's more than 8 or less than 8 are going to disappear pretty quick? More or less? It's more than 8. It's more than 8. So let's say it's 10. They disappear. That leaves you with 10. After 90 days, again, you're bringing in 1, and then 6 weeks later, you're bringing in another. 6 weeks later, you're bringing in another. 6 weeks later, you're bringing in another. How many of those 10 are going to fade after 90 days? More than 4 or less than 4? More or less? Plus or minus? You can put it in the chat if it's hard to do it in language. More, yes? So let's say it's 6, or let's say it's 6 to 8. I'll use 7. 7 fade. So you have 3 left. And now in a year, is it going to be, of the 4 that faded over here, is it going to be more or less, plus or minus? It's more again. So instead of half, let's say it's 2/3. So you've got 2 that you lose, that fade. That leaves you with 1. So if you do it in 30 months, you have to get lucky and hope that that 1 turns into something powerful. Over here, you don't have to worry about getting lucky. Same people, all right? So you can turn off the chat. 1, same 30 people, you get results. Same 30 people over here, you get much less results and you have to get lucky. I would rather you be powerful than you be lucky. I would rather you be successful than you be lucky. Here's the truth. The truth is, in business, we all deal with change. In business, it's not all perfect. In business, sometimes frustrating things can happen. In business, sometimes it's messy. In business, sometimes things don't happen when you want them to happen. In business, you want everything to be cleaned up first before you go out and you tell the world what you're about to do. In business, it's imperfect almost all the time. So what I'm going to tell you, Go Global members, is control what you can control, right? In your entrepreneurial venture today, there are some things that are in your control and some things that are outside of your control. And I would encourage you to release those things that are outside of your control and focus on the things that are in your control. I can't reach this thing to create a new page. Can you do it for me, Alexi? Because if you focus on the things that you can't control, you're going to be frustrated and you're going to get left behind. If you focus on the things that you can control, you're going to be able to build something new. Do you know how many times I've had to pivot in my entrepreneurial venture? Things were going really good. Something happened and I had to shift. It was uncomfortable. It was not fun. And then from that, I had to start something fresh, just like you are, and build something new in an imperfect environment so many times. And here's what I would tell you. This, and is the thing on? Thank you. And I just encourage you to be able to do the same thing. Focus on what you can control, release what you can't. Now, does the pen work? Okay, cool. So I've drawn this for some of you before. If this is an airplane and this is the runway wherever you live, you want to get this airplane off the ground. What does it require to get this airplane off the ground? Number one, focus. This is not time to be distracted. It's not time to talk about previous flights. It's not time to talk about previous experiences. It's time to talk about this takeoff. This is the one thing that you can control. This is the one thing that you can do. Okay? So if you start moving down the runway, and because maybe you're frustrated because of a previous flight, you're frustrated because of something else, and because of that, you don't go 100%. And let's say this is the end of the runway. There's a big wall at the end of the runway. If you don't give it 100% as you're going down the runway, what's going to happen? You're going to hit the wall. You're going to fail in your attempt to take off. That's what's going to happen. So, regardless of your emotions, regardless of your frustration, regardless of your disappointment of past situations, regardless of all of that, you have one choice. One. You have to give it 100% to get it off the ground. To get your business off the ground, you have to give it 100%. You can't, even if you're mad, even if you're frustrated, even if you're disappointed from previous things that have happened to you, you have to give it 100%. That's your only choice. That's the only thing that you can control. Give it 100% of total focus, and then you can level off. Then you can cruise. But if you don't give it 100%, if you give it 50%, any of you have ever been a pilot, if you give it 20%, if you give it 10%, you'll get movement. You'll get movement. You'll start to move down the runway. But don't mistake movement for progress. There's a huge difference between movement and progress. Progress is elevation. Progress is taking off. So in every opportunity, those of you watching around the world, there are going to be those who say yes, tell the world and figure it out. There's going to be those who give it 100%. There's going to be those who can control what they can control. And there's going to be others who don't, who wait for everything to be perfect before they take off, who are not willing to do it messy, who are too emotionally upset to give it 100% again. And in those cases, if they don't give it 100%, I'm not judging you. If you don't want to give it 100%, don't give it 100%. But understand the results that are going to happen if you don't give it 100%. Here's what will happen. You'll hit that wall for sure before you have a chance to take off. Success loves speed. We created a list together of why going slow is a bad idea, why going fast is a good idea. I gave you an example of bringing in a team of 20 people, same 20 people. If you bring them in quickly, what will happen? And what will happen if you bring them in slow? And also, we talked about getting off the ground, what that requires. Doesn't matter what mood you're in, doesn't matter your previous experiences, doesn't matter your disappointments. Control what you can control. If you need to take care of your families, control what you can control. People already are doing very well inside of this company just in the first few weeks. The income and the results financially are tremendous. That's something you can control. While you wait for everything else in your life to line up and be perfect. Control what you can control. Build what you can build. Do what you can do. And your results are going to take care of themselves. So success loves speed, everybody. And in times like this, you need to be tough. Mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. And you got to get in this airplane, and you got to put the pedal all the way to the ground. And go as fast as you possibly can. When you do that, I promise you, the results that you get are going to be better than the results of just creeping along inside of your business. So that's my message for you today. And I hope it finds you well, and I hope you use it to close out this month. I hope you use it to build a new story inside of this pre-launch, inside of Go Global. I hope you use it in order to be able to be an example to others of how to take charge of your life and do what you can control. While others are complaining, while others are frustrated, you could be frustrated too, but at the same time, be active. Success loves speed. So with that, I'll give it back to my friend Kas. And everybody have a spectacular day. Close the year, close the month. It's going to be amazing for the people who make it amazing. Until I see you in person, have a great day. Have a great weekend. Have a great rest of this month. And I'll talk to you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Eric, brother, thank you so much for sharing with us. Thank you so much for your input, for your content, and also for your dedication to the network marketing industry. And thank you for helping us with this Zoom call. Guys, listen here. If this doesn't help you to build your business faster and bigger, then I don't know what will. So let's take this opportunity. Let's take advantage of what Eric just shared with us and build the business bigger than before, faster than before, okay? So guys, we really appreciate all of you. We love all of you. And I wish you from my heart all the success in the world, and see you on the next one. Bye guys, have a great evening.